Check. Here we go again.
And we are back on the road to glory. It's the end of June, it's almost July. And we're here, man. We are back with, I would say, pretty much our last like miscellaneous off-season episode where we're just kind of scraping together like storylines, news, and things of that nature. As you guys all know, if you've been following the channel now for the past 3 seasons, I think the first two, or not the first two, starting with the second season and last season, we did a tier list series that takes us pretty much through the month of July into August. And we're going to, rank all the teams and actually start talking about the teams, making predictions, talking ball. So that's exciting. Feels good to be getting closer to the season. I'm joined by Steph. Haas, I believe, will be joining us at some point later on in the show. But what's up, Steph? Football is quietly getting closer and closer. Seen the Ducks were in Japan recently. You talk to us a little bit about that. But yeah, how you feeling? What's up, bro?
Man, I'm telling man. A lot of teams don't have worldwide brands like us. So, of course there's a lot of hate going around, but when you flying high, you just fly right over that kind of stuff. We worried about us and doing what we gotta do this season, but everything's going good. Middle of the summer. Just ready for the season to get here, but just taking it day by day, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to enjoy that last bit of time before, football starts back up. So I'm ready.
For sure, for sure. It's getting exciting. Every season with Florida in my position, it feels like it's a season of hope, and then quickly things crash and burn. So it's nice to have a new reset because I was watching meaningless football in October. Like it was not a good past few years of Florida Gator football. So it's exciting, man. New coach, new staff, new vibes. You really don't know what to expect. I mean, Billy, he was good at the G6 level. He kind of dominated the Sun Belt when he was there. He won multiple Sun Belt championships. He recruited at the highest level or towards the top of that um, conference or whatever. He was a good coach at that level. Um, but I think John Summerall is a whole different beast, man. He made the playoffs with the team from that level. Billy
Yeah.
Napier, he'll have the chance to do that this year with a loaded JMU team. I mean, Kirk Signetti, obviously. Sorry about that, guys. Kirk Signetti obviously built a wagon at JMU. And then what's his face came over. Bob Chesney came and kind of maintained the thing last year. He made the playoffs as well with JMU. They snuck in. So it's really going to be interesting to see what Billy Napier can do with that team and that program in general. I mean, a lot of his post Florida press run, he has kind of been talking about how at Florida, he didn't have a lot of alignment. A lot of people weren't pulling on the rope in the same direction. Um, a lot of things that are true, but also a lot of excuses. Now he doesn't have any of that. He has a program that is obviously completely aligned, has plenty of talent compared to the rest of their conference, and is in position to compete right away. So we'll see what he can do. And it'll be interesting to see that compared to obviously John Summerall, who, like I mentioned, already made the playoffs with a team in the group of six. Tulane, obviously, a pretty solid program in a talent-rich state. It'll be interesting to see what John Summerall can do because he's won everywhere that he's been at. He was at Troy. He won conference championship, I think, in his first season. I think they won like 5 or 6 games, and when he was coming in, and then they immediately got like to 10 wins and something like that. I don't remember exactly, but everywhere he's been, he's won. Florida. One thing I will say about Billy, he did leave us with talent. We got some guys, so we'll see what we can do this year. It's exciting, man. I feel like we're low key a sleeper team, and we'll talk about that more as I guess we go through our tier list over the upcoming weeks. But it's feeling good to be a Gator right now. It was dope seeing Oregon and Japan though. Real quick, I will mention that Florida has a nice program like that, but it's different. You guys actually practice. That wasn't just like a trip for school kind of. That was an actual showcase. It looked like that Oregon did,
Yeah.
which is super dope. To be on literally the other side of the world. I mean, Oregon's on the West Coast, so they're a little bit closer to Japan than we are on the East Coast, but still, that's super cool. I know in the past I've been a big proponent of keeping college football in the States on campuses, but I think an off-season practice or a showcase or something like that, I don't think that hurts. Even a scrimmage. I mean, imagine like Oregon playing
Yeah.
like Colorado in an off-season scrimmage in Japan or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? Like that would be super cool for the game and for a good opportunity for both teams and their players for a once in a lifetime opportunity. So shout out to Oregon for doing that for their players, because I know most people can only dream of being that far away from home. So it's dope to have that experience. So that was cool to see. Jokes
Yeah,
are funny though.
that's just, it's about increasing the brand and really making NIL. 'Cause, we talked about it before, but there's a difference between pay for play NIL and actual NIL. And I think Oregon is the best team at creating actual NIL for its players instead of just paying
I
five
wonder
hundred
why.
thousand dollars for a backup linebacker to come there and play. So, you know, we're actually creating the NIL for our players as well, on top of paying them.
Right. It must be nice having a Nike Nike NIL. So that's what the NIL stands for Oregon.
Nike image
Hey,
and likeness.
can't hate the player. I mean, that's where he went to school. Shout out to y'all. Like it is what it is. We all know how it gets over there, but nah, for real, super dope. And I definitely agree with your take for the whole pay for play. I mean, now with the whole bill passing last offseason, these players are basically all on contracts now. They are getting rev share, so they are all getting pay for play at this point. Now I think it is going to be up to these NIL uh individual NIL specific deals that are going to be the separators, like you mentioned. Like everybody is going to in the SEC is going to pay their players, has this a lot of this amount of money to pay their players salary, right? But not everybody in the SEC or not everybody in the Big Ten has Nike behind them. Not everybody has this NIL. You know what I mean? So that'll be interesting to see how that change like affects everything, especially recruiting. Um, and not just out of high school, but in the transfer portal as well, Um, but yeah, that was just a little ramble about that. Today we got a big show. Not that big, but we're gonna talk about college football 27, which kind of got me back excited about the game because I haven't played PS5 in a while, but I I think I'm gonna be back for because it's looking good. I'm not gonna lie. At least what I've seen, I can't speak like I've played the game. You know what I mean? But we're going to talk a little bit about Brendan Sorsby and the ending to that situation as it seems. Um, and then we'll take a peek back at the top 10 recruiting rankings now that official visit season is over. I think it was about a month and a half ago. We talked a little bit about the recruiting rankings, checked them out before official visits started. And so we'll check back, see how much they've changed since then, because there's been quite a lot of commitments, and commitments aren't done yet. Still should be a bunch of commitments throughout the summer, and early signing day I think is in December, and then national signing day again in February. So recruiting is a long way from being over in June or July, but be cool to check in on where we are at. All right. I guess we start with the main thing. That's college football 27. Obviously, a lot has been dropping over the past couple of weeks. Gameplay trailers, gameplay deep dives, ratings, rankings, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about some of it, probably not all of it, obviously, but some of the major gameplay pillars and changes and things that really stood out to me. And then we'll obviously go through some of the rankings and the ratings as well. So, Steph, anything that really stood out to you in specific about college football 27 compared to the two previous iterations of college football? EA Sports.
Definitely the gear. It looks like they're having the helmets fit differently and things like that, and having different back plates for the teams. Like if you're a Jordan team, you're gonna wear a Jordan back plate, or um, if you're a Nike team, you're gonna have a Nike back plate, and so on and so forth. The helmets are fitting different on the body, and it just looks like they're doing a really good job of ironing out those details that we all know and love about college football, and that are a big reason why we watch college football. Um, and really building upon what the other two games have done. I mean, and I remember I saw a YouTuber. This was even before College Football 25 came out. Everyone was hyped for the game, and he was basically saying like, College Football 25 is probably not going to be the final vision of the game because it is a yearly release, that we're going to get a game, and it might be a good game, a fun game, but it's going to build upon itself until probably 2028, 29, 2030. And I think we're seeing that to be true right now with how 27 is, and just having more things, more details in the equipment, more things in the dynasty and everything like that. Um, it just looks like everything is going to be that much more in depth, and just have a lot more for players to do in the various game modes that they like, and it's really encouraging to see.
Definitely. I think that's a great point that you mentioned. It, the game was gone for what, 10 years
Yeah.
plus longer. Um, so yeah, it's gonna take time for them to, mesh out a game that we all kind of envisioned when they first announced that this game was coming back. I mean, obviously, these are multi-billion-dollar corporations, and I don't want to be a show for them and make excuses. Obviously, like they should be able to put out a sustainable. They should be able to put out a sustainable product, but it's just it takes time, and I think College Football 27 is definitely going to be their best foot forward, and hopefully a game that we can all really enjoy and appreciate. I mean, there seems to be a lot of thought put into this, from, I mean, dynasty to the actual mechanics of the game to, like you mentioned, the equipment. Um, it's looking good. It's looking good in my opinion. Um, some of the major gameplay pillars and changes for those of you guys that aren't aware, that don't know. EA made massive upgrades to coverage, intelligence, and player control. Basically, they added some defensive alignment controls, making it more detailed in your cornerback depth and width, your safety depth width. You can make midpoint adjustments. They added smart zones, which give you multiple presets: aggressive, balanced, conservative, ultra aggressive, ultra conservative. They also added behaviors like look for work, where defenders will seek new threats when their zone's clear, or other options like plaster, where zone defenders can lock onto receivers on broken plays or scrambling quarterbacks. So they added logic to the plaster and to the actual smart zones, custom triggers and timings for when zones turn into man coverage post snap, added roll coverage. You can shift extra help towards specific areas for threats: the fastest player, the field or the boundary side, the highest overall player, et cetera, et cetera. They improved man coverage, AI for stacks, bunches, combos, triangles, top hat, point combos, etc. Just more coverage checks for modern formations in general. So a lot more options given to the secondary, because it feels like on offense you definitely had a lot of control and you could do a lot more things than you could on
Yep.
defense in the first two games, and that felt pretty bad, especially if you're playing against a player that knows how to play. Like, it was just pretty easy to take advantage of certain defensive flaws that just were part of the game. And now I think they realize like the secondary is a huge factor to, to combat that, to um so they had to balance it. And I think this is going to really give players that want to take the time to learn how to use all this a great way to counter a lot of the cheese. Like, it's going to be a much harder game um, going against somebody that's good on defense. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, like I just think about a lot of the games that I've played, um, so far, and a lot of times I wish I could do certain things on defense where, that would help me a lot against a good player, but the ability just doesn't exist in the game. So it's kind of tough.
right. So they really tried to make the wide receiver DB battles a lot more physical and strategic throughout the entire game, especially at the line. They added a new
Right.
mechanic called Jostle, which adds hand fighting, leverage battles at the start of the route, during the route, and at the catch point. They added better route leverage and press mechanics as well. They also overhauled a bunch of stuff in the short yardage gameplay, major trench battle upgrades, power movement, contextual animations, QB sneak meter, timing, and matchup based, which is timing and matchup based. They added ball carrier pathing, machine learned training on real players, decision for smarter, more natural AI running back cutbacks. They added dynamic weather, formation shift return, total play control, custom adjustments. So, a bunch of new stuff. They improved tackling as well. Um, Overall, it's looking really exciting, and that's not to mention all the changes that they made to Dynasty in that mode, which is, I think, has the potential to be their best mode. But before we continue forward, would like to welcome Haas to the show. Hazy, what's good, my brethren? We are discussing the CFB 27 game currently. Any early thoughts on it? How you feeling?
You're feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I don't have too many early thoughts, but I've seen a lot of the clips circulating online, like most people, and it definitely looks like a better game. It looks like they've slowed it down. It doesn't look as arcadey as the first couple versions, so I'm a little bit optimistic. But at the end of the day, I know they're not going to overhaul too much because the game comes out every year. So we always get minor changes every year. I always get confused when people are expecting a completely different game the next year, as if the game doesn't come out annually. So they're all going to be pretty similar, but this one definitely looks like it should be the best. I know a lot of equipment guru fans are like hyped over this one because they updated a lot of the accessories and shit. But really, I think the most we could ask for in all EA football games, including Madden, is just better and more consistent slash realistic blocking. I think if they could hyper focus on that, that would change the game like night and day. I think they have to revamp the blocking completely because no matter what they do, it's still the same. I don't know if you guys have any personal thoughts on that from your experiences playing the game over the years, but I think that's one thing that's really never changed. And no matter how many, no matter whether you slide the protection, add max protection, have extra blockers, it really doesn't matter versus certain defenses. The linemen only block for a couple seconds, and that's probably the most unrealistic thing about the game. That seems like they'll never fix it, but
Yeah, I think it's really easy to cheese the old lineman. Sometimes, if like you could line, like if the defense lines up in a wonky way, they just won't even block them.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely something that I don't think about often, but when you mention it now, I definitely have noticed. And you're right; it would feel different if they just revamped the entire blocking system. But I don't know.
like, I
Uh,
wish there was like as soon as you hike the play, there would have to be a quick combo similar to a fighting game or something where you have to, like, for example, in Madden, or even in college football, there are plays where if you're one on one with the user, you'll both get a chance to jam triangle or X to use a stiff arm or enforce a tackle for loss. Like, you
Right,
guys get to
right.
battle that out. I think when the ball snapped, there should be some type of combo each user competes for a time advantage on the line. Like, if the defensive user gets it, maybe they'll be able to jump the line if they guess that combo, like triangle, triangle, square, if they hit that first before the first user. But if the offensive user does it, then they're guaranteed 2.5 2 seconds of guaranteed no sack, like guaranteed blocking. Because sometimes when you have these defensive ends lining up over the centers in the game, like Steph said, it's very easily very easy to manipulate the O line in that game. And to newbies, like, they really stand no chance. So I think that if you could just get a little bit of realistic blocking. That would make the game more fun and probably more competitive as well.
I'm definitely all for making the game a better product overall. So it's interesting to see how they address that over the upcoming game in College Football 27 and in the future. Let's talk about some of the modes in this game. We talked about the equipment. We talked about some of the gameplay, but let's talk about some of the modes. There's a new mode, an old mode that they're bringing back. Well, I guess a variation of it. This one is going to be called Mascot Mashup. It's basically going to be a standalone mode directly on the main menu. 11 versus 11 football, where everybody on the field is a mascot. Every mascot is tuned to 99 overall, so there's going to be no roster gaps or ratings advantage. It's going to be the old school mascot game, so it's going to be fun. I'm excited for this mode for sure. I do have some reservations. For those of you guys that don't know, there are 120 total mascots at launch, which is dope. But you're only going to have 10 unlocked at the start, which I think is kind of annoying.
Can you explain that? As in,
Yes.
you'll have to pay to get them unlocked, or will it be?
No,
Is
so
it DLC,
thankfully,
or are they unlocking over time?
Right. So thankfully, it's not going to be pay for mascot, and it's not going to be DLC. They're already in the game, but you have to unlock them. And in order to unlock the 75 plus more, because you only start with 10 and there's 120 total in the game at launch. So they're in the game already. The core unlock, the main way you're going to be able to unlock mascots is by winning a Play Now game as that school. It must be played out full, no simming, directly tied to the representing the school. So if you want to play as the Florida Gator mascot, for an example, I will have to play a full game as the Florida Gator and to Play Now, win it. And actually, I don't think, you have to win it. So if you lose, it doesn't count, which is also stupid. But
I think it's more of an incentive for EA to get people to play
to
more,
play,
have
which
more
is
hours
cool.
showed.
Which is cool.
Yeah, if they give you just credit for hours, I don't think you should have to.
But
have
like that's
hours for
also
that team.
It's also dumb. Like they did the most. Like like that is a way to get more people to just play the game. But at the same time, like if I just want to hop on and play with a random ass mascot, I shouldn't have to play a game like before. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that's just a little bit silly and short sighted. I mean, it's not the end of the world. The 10 mascots that are unlocked are the 2025 playoff semifinalist. So James Madison, the Duke Dog, Alabama, Oklahoma, Tulane, Miami, Texas Tech, Indiana, Georgia, Oregon, and Ohio State. So those would be the 10 that everybody gets unlocked at the start that you can choose from and play with.
So all I'm hearing is that you're just mad that your team's mascot isn't unlocked because y'all didn't make the playoffs.
Yes, that's exactly what you're hearing. But that's also 110 other of the mascots. So it's like,
yeah, I'm
it
gonna
is
be
what it
honest.
is.
I'm not unlocking all of those.
Yeah, and no one. I don't think a lot of people are, and it's okay. But like, and again, it's not the end of the world. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a terrible mode now. But
No, I think it's perfectly fine. It's like
Yeah.
this is like the old school games that we grew
Yeah.
up with, where a lot of times unlocking everything was super difficult, and you had to do like every challenge in the game to unlock a certain character or a certain thing. So I'm for it, honestly. Like play the game. Everyone wants to complain about games and the prices, and rightfully so. I don't think games should be $70 and GTA is $100 for the deluxe edition or whatever, and it's getting out of control. But hey, at least you're getting your money worth if you play 100 and what are we at 136 teams to unlock the mascot. So
Yeah.
you're getting your
Well, there's
money
only
worth. So,
120 right now, but I'm sure they'll maybe add the last however many
right.
eventually. All right, let's talk a little bit about Dynasty mode. This year's year 3 of EA's Dynasty It's probably the biggest single change to Dynasty since recruiting was introduced, shifting the mode from recruit and win to full program management. The mantra is 138 ways to build. Every school feels unique with its own pressures, resources, and paths to success. Build your coach, build your program, deliver the world of college football. Every decision, staff, facilities, NIL, expectations, creates trade off and replayability. No two dynasties play the same, they say. Um, pretty much the core new system is, I guess, the Dynasty Blueprint. This is the program budget resource management hub. Every year, you get a fresh pool of Dynasty points. Use it or lose it, no rollover. You have to spend them across 3 pillars: coaching staff, facilities, and NIL. Budget size varies by school, prestige, tradition, conference, etc. All play a factor as well and grows with success. In the preseason, you'll hire, fire support staff, equipment upgrades, regular season recruiting, NIL plus equipment, bowl season, coordinator carousel, off season, major facility upgrades plus roster, NIL / retention. I think there will also be athletic director expectations and school demeanor, which is going to be an added feature as well. Every school has a demeanor: patient, balanced, impatient, reactionary, how forgiving they are on failures. Every school has program priorities, championships, rivalries, recruiting territory, stats, facilities, etc. And they all have 3 active goals: a mix of single season and multi-year, which directly impact job security. Expectations evolve as your program grows. Oregon went from good season to title contender, for example. Ohio State, for example, beat Michigan or face pressure to even win titles would be some of their active goals. Coaching staff and support staff. This is new. You get up to 5 slots, which is going to be tied to your prestige, to add support staff, which will boost your recruiting hours, add to your progression, NIL costs, fundraising, etc. They'll have tiers from bronze to platinum. You'll have coordinators, full list available, not limited options. You'll hire with dynasty points, premium for big names at small schools, up to 6 offers per side, resolved by bid order, extensions to retain, new archetypes, plus rebalancing of the old archetypes. So overall of your support staff and that whole feature. They added a facility feature as well, where there'll be different tiers from basic to national powerhouse, which sets grade ceiling plus equipment slots. And you actually have equipment, which adds short-term boosts, which could be injury reduction, wear and tear, different progressions, or they could grade bumps within tiers. You could upgrade and downgrade in the off season, and there are maintenance costs as well. And then finally, NIL is the other new thing that's added. Biggest roster building change, pretty much. Recruiting NIL offer amounts affect weekly influence. You overpay, you get higher future expectations. During the preseason, scouting only, no offers. You can adjust that weekly. Roster NIL, end of year reallocation. So at the end of the year, you'll reallocate depending on the players. Risk of leaving meter. You can keep stars from draft plus the portal with big offers, which is cool. And you can also track spending league wide, so you know what the market is as well. NIL will be fully integrated and strategic. It's not just going to be a checkbox. It creates real retention dilemmas. So it should add a whole new way to recruit and build programs. Some recruiting upgrades. They cut out the top 8. So recruits will start with open. They'll go from the top 5 to the top 3 to a verbal to a hard commit. Verbal commits can still be flipped. You get a bonus for leading school. There are generational recruits, rare game changers, and there's more explosive classes overall. Other standouts: weekly practice plans, coaching carousel overhaul. There's a coach mode where you can sideline play call without controlling players. And there's my school grade tweaks. Brand exposure now recent performance based, etc. I know I just gave you guys a lot, but what stood out? What are you guys excited for about Dynasty? What do you want from Dynasty? Yeah, the floor is yours.
I would say make the different archetypes actually mean something, because some of them were a little bit redundant or useless in the in college football 26.
Yeah, I just banned
Um,
recruiter pretty much every time on my coach.
right. Well, the coaches, and I'm talking about the players. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this or whatever, but certain things like north south receiver for the running back, and well, not elusive bruiser. There's like the north south receiver, the north south blocker. There's just players that I would just never recruit because they would always be super slow or just bad. So there's really no point of even recruiting that player, even if they're a 4 star and you're a low program. You're better off just getting a 3 star of an east west playmaker instead of getting a 4 star of a north south blocker, because they're just useless. And the same thing for like wide receiver, because you would have like physical route runner and route artist and elusive route runner. I mean, these are things that they seem a little bit redundant to me. Um, and the abilities a lot of times didn't match up with the player's archetype and position. So I would say if they could tweak that, um, if that works well, that would be really nice, because again, you're just kind of recruiting the same players over and over again if you're really trying to maximize your team's overall in dynasty. So um, that would be my main thing. And especially with coach too, like you said, everyone just kind of goes for recruiter. um you know it it would be nice to actually be able to pull in, well, maybe not top 5 classes, but if you could still get your team to a high overall with the motivator archetype, or the what is it, the tactician one. So with the different coaching archetypes, I would say make them balanced instead of having one just be the dominating archetype.
Definitely. How's any thoughts?
I feel like Dynasty is really advanced. I think Dynasty is probably the best feature in terms of having something that like fanatics can use in the game. Like I think that's probably the most like used feature amongst fanatics for NCAA. I think it's pretty good where it is, honestly. I don't have too many complaints. I think recruiting's a little, like Steph said, that's a little hacked a little bit, but hopefully they're pretty good with patching shit in recruiting. I'm not gonna lie. I
I mean,
remember
but I
when
will
the
say, if you're in a league with good people, with a lot of people that know what they're doing, it still ends up being even because you're all fighting for the same players.
yeah, yeah, I think that the dynasty is pretty much like there's a lot. When the game first launched, dynasty like recruiting was already completely different from the last time we were able to recruit in
Yeah.
college football. So I think like the older, like our age group is already like grateful for all the updates in Dynasty already because it's light years ahead of what it was the last time we played the game.
For sure. Let's close out this part with some of the biggest wins from the new and improved Road to Glory mode. Still not fully new and improved. Still 5 games with 4 moments in each. So you're still not playing the full high school games, which is still ass. But they did add new positions: tight end, edge rusher, free safety. Plus, the player builder is way deeper now, way more intricate. You can really adjust the physique, the max potential, cap breakers, legends, all that good stuff. And then they give you like 25. Let me see. You get 25. You can earn up to 25 cap breakers. So a lot more, I guess, customization in Road to Glory. There's also fitness, real life management, and dilemmas that are added. Um, Practice rebuild and per play grading. They also added team builder in Road to Glory, which is pretty cool. Um, so yeah, Road to Glory still not doesn't hit the same as it did back in the day, but they're still working on it. Some improvements.
Yeah,
Let's
I would say for me, that's probably. I know you guys like that mode, but I never really played that
They
mode
did
in
add the new
25.
positions. I don't know if you mentioned
yeah,
that, Swank. I
yeah,
may
I
have
did.
not heard you, but
Here we go.
okay.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
the new positions is probably the most exciting part for Road to Glory, though. I
for
mean,
sure.
linebacker should be pretty fun. I think that'll be, or what is it? Defense? What is the
Edge rusher.
edge? Yeah, that one should be fun. I think that maxing that user out will be pretty funny. Like if you can get a Chase Young style player and just really take over the game, because like I mentioned, so it's already easy to manipulate the O line in the game. So if you have a crazy ass 5-star defensive end, I'm sure it'll be pretty fun to just rush off the edge wide and sack the quarterback every single play.
All right, let's talk about some of these ratings and rankings now. Start with the toughest places to play. EA Sports dropped their rankings. Some interesting decisions here, in my opinion. Tiger Stadium, LSU number 1, Death Valley. Now, that's not that shocking to me. Definitely one of the best environments, if not the best environment in football. But at number 2, I'm already scratching my head. Ohio Stadium. Do we think Ohio State has the second best environment in college football?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Beaver Stadium, Penn State is at number 3. I think they're better environment than Ohio State. Sanford Stadium, Georgia, number 4. Georgia's a pretty good environment. I feel like they're not historically that crazy, but now under Kirby Smart, it's turned into like one of the best places to play. But it isn't like hasn't. I don't like think about. I don't know. Florida never played at Sanford Stadium, so I guess I don't have memories from that stadium. That shitty ass place.
Oh my goodness.
At number 5, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Alabama. Pretty good environment. At number 6,
Austin
Autzen.
better.
Yeah, I would say Autzen is definitely in the top 5. Yeah, Ohio State is not that good of a stadium. Number 7, the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Still better than whatchamacallit, Ohio State. Who else we got here? Tennessee at number 8, Neyland Stadium. That's a great environment. The other Death Valley, Memorial Stadium, Clemson, they're at number 9. Kyle Field, all the way down at number 10. Michigan's not in the top 10.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Auburn, Jordan Hare is down at 14. Like, what are we doing? Even South Carolina down at 16. That's a great
I
environment.
wonder if these rankings are going off of votes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I can't imagine Michigan not being in the top 10. I mean, that's absolutely blasphemous.
Yeah, what? That's the big house.
Yeah,
and they fill that shit every week too. That's the thing. It's not like they got a big stadium in his booty. They got a big stadium and it be filled.
Well, guess what? In dynasty mode, if you don't like your stadium's toughest place to play ranking, you could move that up if you win. So
yep, super dope. Super dope. Let's talk about some of the team ratings now. And listen, I'm scratching my head at these team ratings. I'm not gonna lie. Oregon comes in at the number 1 team at 91 overall.
You're scratching your head at that?
Yes.
Why?
Right? Because Ohio State and Indiana are both overall 90. What?
Indiana's not going to be better than last year. They're going to be worse.
Okay, what gives Oregon a 1 overall advantage? Like, why is Oregon just not 90 like the rest of the other 2? Like, they are all the same.
Maybe not having Josh Hoover as your quarterback, first of all.
Bro, let's not do this, because if we go back, every single quarterback that has played under Kirk Cignetti has had their quarterback rating raise over 40-something points as soon as they've come to play for him.
But Mendoza was a better player at Cal
but even before
than Josh Hoover was at TCU.
But even before Mendoza, Cignetti was turning these quarterbacks into demons at JMU.
Not really. Well, but like Curtis Rourke, I mean, we're really going to sit here and say Curtis Rourke is like some amazing quarterback? Like, what are we doing? He was a good college quarterback.
Listen,
But Mendoza was different. Let's be honest. Mendoza was different.
it's just weird. Like what? Like Oregon 91, and then everybody else is 90. Like just
think
make it
Oregon.
uniform. Just
I
make it
think Oregon
uniform.
has a better roster on paper than all of those teams. On paper.
I guess. But yes, Oregon number one.
I think Oregon's defense being 91 is like where they're stretching it just a little bit, because you're essentially saying they infinitely have the best defense in the country, which is crazy.
Whose defense better? Not yours.
Shit. How? Our defense was better last year.
Our whole D line better than your D line.
Stop.
Our DB is better than your DBs.
Okay.
Stop.
Can't even line it up because y'all can't get there.
We got a white safety better than y'all DBs.
Dylan Thieneman is tough, but that was your best player on the entire team.
I'm talking about Coy Parrish.
He's not better than KJ Bolden. Stop.
That's true.
Stop.
I'll take KJ.
KJ Bolden is better than every DB you have on your team.
Nah,
and it shows.
Brandon Finney was better than
freshman.
Oh, Brandon Finney's a dog. Brandon Finney's a dog.
Brandon Finney was better than
Brandon Finney's a dog.
As a true freshman.
He might be better than KJ Bolden.
Look at their seasons.
We have a true freshman corner better than your whole DB room as a.
They're both top 10. They're both top 10 in the NFL draft. I'll tell you that. They both might be top 5 in the NFL draft.
This guy's smoking weakness.
But KJ Bolden is a safety, so I don't know if safeties go top 5. Caleb Downs, what did he get drafted at?
KJ's going top 5, brother. He started as a
Caleb Downs didn't go top 5, and KJ Bolden's going.
Whatchamacallit didn't go top 5. Malachi Starks didn't go top 5.
He's not KJ. KJ Bolden is
better. He was better than KJ.
No.
Malachi Starks. Malachi Starks
crazy.
Better, bro.
No.
He's on a better trajectory. Malachi Starks had that one breakout game when he first started on Georgia, but KJ Bolden is definitely on a better trajectory than Malachi Starks, bro.
KJ Bolden is
because that defense from those teams was better than y'all defense now.
Exactly. So that's why Malachi Starks will look better as well. But KJ Bolden is holding it down, bro. You have no idea the anchor he is on the defense, bro. I can't let you disrespect him talking about some random Crayola factory safeties from Oregon University. This is crazy.
We still going up on his A.
But I'm sure Nike has a little stock in this game, and that's why Oregon has all these ratings and flashy uniforms and custom. I'm sure you could customize uniforms on mascot mode just for Oregon and nobody else.
But yes, Oregon, top-rated team, 91 overall. Ohio State and Indiana come in rated number 2 and 3 at 90 overall, respectively. Right behind them at 89 overall is Notre Dame and then Texas. Then the next tier would be Ole Miss, Miami, LSU, who are all 88 overall. And right below them, closing out the top 10, is Georgia and Oklahoma at 87. What's up, Steph?
LSU should not be at 88. What are we talking about? Georgia should not be 87. See, I'm actually going to take high side on this one. They should not be lower than LSU and Miami. Not that low. Miami should probably be slightly higher, but like, come on, what are we doing?
Texas Tech is also rated as an 87 in that same tier as Georgia and Oklahoma. They're just 11th. They're not. They just missed the top 10.
Not be 87. When your quarterback cannot complete a pass, you got to be like 84, in my opinion. Even though your defense nice, but your quarterback, no, you cannot be 87 with a quarterback that can't throw. That be these teams. They try not to make the fan base mad. That's the problem. They be trying not to make the fan base mad and make the coaches mad and the players mad. They be nice with these ratings, yo. Because Sam Levitt should not be that high of a rating for LSU to be an 88. What are we talking about?
Yo, I just thought about, didn't Gunnar Stockton opt out of the game?
No, he didn't sign the paperwork on time or whatever. I don't think he opted out because he was in the last year's game, right?
I don't know.
He's been in both of them.
Okay, so that wouldn't affect Georgia's rating if he wasn't in the game, right? They would just they would just call him something else, right?
He would, I don't know. It depends because I've seen it where, at least on Oregon's team, there was a few players that opted out where it was like they had somebody with like a 60 overall in their place.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if that's why Georgia's rated as an 87 and not.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Because Gunnar is one of the top returning, if not the top, no, probably not Chambliss is better than him.
Yeah,
But
stop.
yeah,
Mensa,
but I almost
Chambliss,
bugged out. I almost
Dante.
bugged out. I
Yeah,
almost
you
bugged out.
wild.
No. I said SEC and the SEC, not just.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The SEC quarterback play is weak.
Yeah, I know
Unfortunately.
y'all down right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Who y'all taking, Arch Manning or Gunnar Stockton?
Trinidad Chambliss. For real.
Yeah. In college or in the NFL?
College, like right now in college, you
Gunner.
taking Arch Manning or Gunnar?
Nah, I'm taking Gunner.
You taking Byron Brown or Gunnar Stockton?
Why would I ever take Byron Brown as my quarterback?
Cause that man nice. Running
Byron
wise,
Brown with McVay, maybe.
No, I can't even talk crazy because he really came into the swamp last year and DDT'd the
yo, that's
Gators.
crazy. How did y'all?
But it was
you know
nasty.
what?
Them boys scored one touchdown. Like
Yo, didn't they score 19 points?
Yeah, it was like that was the most doo-doo game I ever watched. They did not play good. We just like
The
shit
fact that y'all couldn't
all
even
over
score more
ourselves.
than 20 points is crazy against
Yeah, bro.
South Florida.
Come on, bro.
Anyways,
We don't get to look back this year. We got them week 2 again. Don't worry. We're gonna see them boys. Who is it? W's the coach over
y'all
there?
go to their house.
Nah, we better not be going to their
Oh.
crib. What we look like.
Home and home is crazy. But it's whatchamacallit that was Ohio State's receiver coach in OC.
Yeah, what's Buddy's name?
Brian Hartline.
Brian Hartline. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta make sure we're not going to
If y'all lose again,
I gotta
to
make
two
sure this
different
ain't no
coaches?
home and home.
it can't be a home and home. If anything, it'll be a home and away.
Let me see.
Like y'all might give them a 2-for-1. You're not gonna do a home and home.
Yeah, we're home. Pretty sure. All right. The next tier of teams is rated as 86 overall. There's 4 teams: Alabama, BYU, Texas A&M, and USC. The next tier is 85 overall. 3 teams: Michigan, Missouri, and Tennessee. Then at 84 overall, there's 2 teams: Florida and Louisville. 83 overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, this is where it all starts to get jumbled down here. There's Auburn, there's Clemson, Houston, Nebraska, Penn State, Virginia, SMU, and a bunch of other teams. We're not going to go through all the ratings, but you get the gist of it. And then finally, let's talk a little bit of the player ratings. What do you guys think about this whole Jeremiah Smith 99 overall thing?
He's like
I
that.
agree with it. Hey, what are we talking about?
Okay. He's the first player I think ever to get 99 overall in a college football game, right?
Maybe
In this iteration.
Yeah.
Okay. Carter Smith, left tackle from Indiana, is at a 97 overall. Leonard Moore, lockdown DB for Notre Dame, at a 97 overall as well. Those are the next 2 highest rated players. Then after that, there's a handful of players with the 96 overall. Ahmad Hardy, Caden Green, both from Missouri, halfback, left tackle. Kewan Lacey is a 96 overall. Malachi Toney, 96 overall.
We got to do an investigation with the University of Missouri and EA Sports as well. I mean, every year there's always these guys. I mean, even Luther Burden last year, and I know they're a Nike school as well. So there's definitely some collusion for shit show.
Aren't you a Nike school?
Between, we don't need the collusion. That's the thing. We don't need it, so we're not interested.
So
that's not the style of business we conduct, buddy.
What I will say about Missouri is, surprisingly and not surprisingly, no disrespect to this area of the country, but that whole, like St. Louis, what other states are around there? Kansas City, the Midwest, they play pretty good football. They got talented guys over there, and Missouri is one of the bigger programs. They are in the SEC, so a lot of the Midwest guys that want that SEC experience, they go to Missouri. So they're always going to have 1 or 2 demons on that team just because that area, produces good players, and a lot of the other Southern schools don't usually go and recruit in that area. So they're usually fighting against Big 12 teams and Big 10 teams for recruits, and the guys that want to go play in the SEC, they usually land. So Ahmad Hardy, I mean, we all know about that guy. That guy is a freak. He wasn't even recruited originally
He
by
is tough, but those ratings are like
and Caden Green. He is also a very good tackle. Those of you that don't watch the SEC that might not have won against Missouri or don't watch Missouri, you might not know that name or know him, but he will be a high draft pick as long as everything goes right for him this year.
he'll probably be a Steeler with the top 5 pick.
We need a quarterback if we take in the top 5 pick, brother. For sure.
Might get on them Tua sweepstakes.
Oh,
The
hell
Deshaun
no.
sweepstakes.
Yeah, nah, we get off that.
Yeah, you
Let's
about
talk
to
about
get Watson.
the next little crop of players. 95 overall. There's only 4: Colin Simmons, Dante Moore, Caden Piper, and KJ Bolden. And then after that, there's a bunch of 94 overall, 93 overalls, 92 and 91, and so forth and so on. So those are some of the top rated players going into the first edition of College Football 27. Obviously, as the season begins and as things happen, you know how they go. They update the rosters, they update the ratings, and things change. But that is where everything stands.
Who's the highest ranked Gator on that list?
Highest ranked Gator? Let's see who we got. Give me a second. Highest ranked Gator
And is he in the top 100?
is a 91 overall. So yes. We also have we have a 91 overall and a 90 overall. Those are our 2 highest rated players. Can you guess who they are? One's a transfer.
Dallas Wilson.
No. One's a transfer. One is he's been on the team. It's not Dallas Wilson. It is a wide receiver, but not Dallas Wilson. Dallas Wilson is an 84 overall.
Oh, it's whatchamacallit.
Singleton.
Dude from Georgia Tech. Yeah, Singleton.
Yeah.
Yes. Eric Singleton is a 90. And then still you're missing our best player, 91 overall. He's going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. I don't
know why I can't think.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is exactly why he's about to rush for 2,000 yards this year. Jaden Ball. Put some respect on his name. He going to fry Georgia.
He's worthy of that rating.
Yes, he is a 91 overall. Got a couple 87s, 85s. Florida's 84 overall, so our team is ass. We got a lot to prove. We're gonna be a 90 overall by the end of the season.
Sure.
All right, I think we can wrap up our college football 27 segment here. Unless you guys got any final thoughts or about the game.
No, I think that's it. I'm just ready for it now.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch gears here. Let's talk a little bit about the Brendan Sorsby situation. We have our update from the last show. I'm sure you guys have all heard by now. But Brendan Sorsby was announced a few weeks ago that he parted ways with Texas Tech and that he would not be playing for them this year after a lot of speculation, after a lot of debate, after a lot of things that were going on. I think the Big 12 honestly was getting ready to come together to kind of ice out Texas Tech or do something. I think the Big 12 was about to do something. The schools, I don't know if the conference, but I think the schools were going to do something, and Texas Tech realized that. And I think they realized like it was just optics wise, it was just best to part ways, which is still stupid. Like they should keep him, like support the guy. He's a gambling, you know what I mean? But like he shouldn't be playing anyways. Then there was speculation that he was going to join the NFL supplementary draft in 2026. And that's when the NFL announced, we're not even going to have a draft, bro. So you're not going to be joining any draft, actually. You will not be playing in the NFL this year either.
You know what this is?
Tell me.
This is a 1-year suspension from the NFL. That's basically what it is.
Seems like it. And I mean, it should be way worse, in my opinion. I mean, he shouldn't really be playing football again in the United States of America. If he want to go play in the Canadian Football League or in the
Well, the Canadian League banned him. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep, I was. I was so yeah, if you want to go play in Japan or in Germany or something like that, go play. He can go play rugby in
You can go to the
Australia.
Guangdong Tigers.
He can go to the Guangdong Tigers in China. Like he's just not playing football in America, and that's not unfortunately. That's exactly what should happen. I mean, he committed the cardinal sin. I mean, he bet it on games. He bet on his own team's offense to score less
Yeah.
than or over, like in multiple games. Like that is just not something you can do. I mean, today, um, it was announced on ESPN an NBA player was indicted by the FBI for colluding and betting on his own rebounds and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
this is just stuff that is real life. This is real life, and this is not something that you can just let slide, unfortunately. Because if you let this slide, that sets a precedent, and then the entire integrity of the sport, not just collegiately, but professionally as well, is compromised. It's just over. You just cannot. It just becomes WWE after that. And we all love WWE. We all grew up watching that. I ain't got no hate toward WWE, but sports are competitive. Not that WWE isn't, but it's not scripted. That's my point. So yeah, I think it's the right decision. It's what I thought was going to happen. I mean, I said it on a few episodes ago. I said there's no way he's going to play, but then it kind of started looking like he was going to play, and I was shocked, honestly. But
Yeah, I think the media backlash was just so crazy. And then you had the Big 12 actually going to, take action. And then what actually messed them up was the Texas Attorney General. Because did we break this down on the podcast? How the Texas Attorney General said that if the Big 12 tried to take legal action, that he would take legal action, and then the Oklahoma Attorney General said that he would help the Big 12, and the Kansas Attorney General said he would help the Big 12 too. And then after that, it actually came out that because the Texas Attorney General said that, then the Big 12 was able to file a lawsuit, and then so they basically screwed themselves by saying that. And so then at that point, that was when Sorsby decided to part ways, and it was just a crazy situation. And then you had Texas Tech put out that 20-minute podcast, which was just a bunch of nonsense, people reading off a script. I mean, I don't understand how you have this much of a PR nightmare and just continue to dig a bigger hole for yourself. It's just mind boggling to me. I mean, now Texas Tech is going to be the villain team forever. I don't understand how anyone could ever root for this team after that. I mean, and it's honestly sad because this was a program that I didn't have a problem with. Seeing them in the playoffs, we played them in the playoffs. I went to the game. Of course, you want to beat them, but their success was not something that I didn't like or didn't want to happen. I think Texas Tech has always been that team that you know, they can never be like Texas or Oklahoma or those other teams in the Big 12 besides that one short period of time when Mike Leach was there almost 20 years ago at this point. So, you know, I always looked at them as like, almost wishing that they would reach to that point and have a new face be the dominant force in the Big 12. But now after this and after this whole thing with Cody Campbell and them just willing to die on this hill, I mean now it's I really hope you go 0 and 12 every time. I'm not a fan of any of that. I mean, you're gonna sit up there and and take care of a guy who bet on his own team. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and you got what you deserve. So that's really all I got to say about that because I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for you not having a quarterback, and you know, don't bet on your own team, and don't bet on sports. If you're an athlete, just don't do it. Don't gamble on sports, man. Don't do it.
yeah, it's just not worth it, especially in this day and age when y'all are getting paid, man. Especially, and you're Brennan Sorsby, like you just made $3 million in the transfer portal, right? Like you're making endorsements. You're gonna go to the NFL next year and make another $10 million, however many $1 million. You know what I mean? So what is the point? And we're all guys, right? So, but it could be done. You don't have to do it. But that's why it's important who you have in your corner. Make sure you guys have people that you trust, you can talk to, and that can help you get yourself out of situations that could potentially harm, your future. It's not worth it, especially if you're a potential NFL player. But yeah, that saga is now officially put to bed, put to rest.
Finally.
Should not be hearing much about that story unless there is a dramatic change of heart or something. I don't know, but yeah, it seems like that is a done deal. So moving along, let's take a quick peek at the top 10 recruiting rankings after official visit season has pretty much come to a close. There might still be a weekend or two left for some teams here or there, but I think most teams are pretty much wrapping up official visits at this point in time. At the top currently of the On3 composite rankings, which is ranking with all three, ESPN, 247, and On3 combined to create, I guess, one score. Texas A&M, they are number 1. Notre Dame is number 2. Miami is number 3. Oklahoma is number 4. Ohio State closes out the top 5 classes currently. Then you get Texas at number 6, Florida at number 7, Texas Tech at number 8, Oregon at number 9, and then USC at 10 to close out the top 10. If you separate it by average rating, which a lot of people like to do by looking at the quality of the class, not just the score, the class score, then Miami would have the top class currently. Notre Dame would be number 2, Ohio State number 3, Texas Tech 4, Texas A&M 5, USC 6, LSU 7, Texas 8, Oklahoma 9, and then Oregon closes out the top 10. So go. That is a quick peek at the recruiting rankings before we close out our show here. Before we go, I did want to talk a little bit about the group of 6 because we aren't going to be doing a group of 6 tier list. We're not going to be breaking that down. We'll talk a little bit about them when we do our final show before the season and make our playoff predictions. Obviously, we'll all have to choose 1 or 2 group of 6 teams if that's what we predict to make the playoffs or whatever. But just going into the season, preseason wise, any of those teams stand out to you? I mean, typical Boise State obviously is going to be a problem. I mean, they're moving into the Pac-12. I don't think that'll make much of a difference. Them leaving the Mountain West. I think the Pac-12 is basically the Mountain West at this point.
It is.
Yeah. So I think they'll still be obviously the favorites or one of the favorites. But anybody else? I think personally, UNLV, Dan Mullen and those guys, he's still one of the top offensive coordinators in the country. They won 10 games last year. Obviously, the defense wasn't up to par, and a lot of the old Dan Mullen things that used to happen as the Florida Gators happened for UNLV.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, yeah, it is. It really felt like watching the Gators back in the day. But so it's hard to kind of trust them to maybe win big or do something like that. But they're still in the Mountain West, I believe, right? They didn't move to the Pac-12.
I think so. Yeah.
I think they're still in the Mountain West. I don't know
Yeah, I think
exactly,
they're in the
but
Mountain West.
yeah, and obviously with Boise State leaving that conference, that might open up an opportunity for them to win that conference, which could lead, to a playoff spot. Who knows? Anybody else though?
Can North Dakota State do it?
North Dakota State. Oh, are they FBS now?
Yeah, them and Sac State are now FBS. Sac State is in the MAC, and North Dakota State is in the Mountain West.
Oh my God, North Dakota State in the FBS is crazy.
I mean, do you remember that game against Colorado? They should have won that.
Yeah, they should have won that. Low key, they should have won that.
So, are they that different than a Mountain West team?
Probably
not really.
No.
Especially the brand of football they play. I mean, they're just gonna punch you in the mouth every single time.
And we've seen this.
So,
We saw JMU. They were dominating FCS, and they
Yeah.
came up and they immediately started dominating the Sun Belt. So
Yeah.
We've seen it be done before. Obviously, Kirk Cignetti is a different breed, but I like that take. I like that as a sleeper
Hey,
a team.
I want to see it.
That'd be fun. Oz, you got a team?
Shit, not really any underdogs I could think off the top of the head. But speaking of Signetti, I really do just want to see if he can run it back and at least get to the semifinals for real in the playoffs with another first year quarterback, not freshman, but first year quarterback. And I'm definitely gonna have all eyes on Signetti this upcoming season for sure. Because
Yeah.
I don't think what he did was a fluke. And
No.
now I'm just a little curious how he's gonna sustain this roster and theory of transfer players with this new rule, this 5-year rule.
Well, on paper, I mean, they're better than they were. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's why earlier, Steph, you said they won't be better than last year, and
you're
I'm
bugging.
not so sure about
They lost the
that.
Heisman. They definitely lost the Heisman.
I'm not so sure
I
about
don't think
that.
they're gonna be better than last year.
That hurts losing the Heisman, but their
I don't know
roster.
I don't know if they'll have a better record than last year, which I know is a little contradicting, but they may
No,
be
but I
a
get what you're
better
saying.
team.
They got more talent. Definitely, they got more
Like if
talent
they're to
than they
make
had.
it as far as they did this upcoming season last year, you may see a better team.
I mean, how many players did they get drafted off that team last year?
The center, the quarterback,
Pons got drafted in like the
couple
fourth round.
receivers.
Yeah, like
So
it
you
was, I
had
think,
like seven
like
picks.
5 to 7. Yeah, so that's not an absurd amount for a national championship level team. I mean, Georgia and Ohio State sometimes be having like 15 just in the first round, like not literally, but
Combined,
that's
damn
what it
near.
feels like. And even Kirk Cignetti said it himself last year. He was like, "This is not a team with a bunch of NFL talent," which is crazy to say and still go to win on the championship. I mean, it probably just lit a fire under a lot of his players' asses and just motivated them. But yeah, I think on paper they're going to be more talented. I don't see why they are any worse. I think they are the team to beat in the Big Ten going into the year. That's why, like, shout out to Oregon and y'all roster. You guys did great with roster retention. Obviously, bringing back Dante Moore is huge, and that's your advantage over Indiana. I will admit to that. Obviously, with them losing Mendoza, but until their crown is taken away, they're the team to beat. Like, they're the best team in the Big Ten in my eyes, without a shadow of a doubt.
That's fair. They won the conference last year.
Yeah, so obviously the games have to be played. This is all preseason, and we'll see how it
We
goes
don't
from
play
there.
them regular season, so we'll have
Right.
to play them in a
In the
conference
conference
title or
championship.
playoff scenario.
Gotcha. That sucks. I know you guys would have liked a chance to get your revenge after the way the game went last year, and but
It'll
it
happen.
is what it is. Yeah, like you said, if you
If
guys get
things
to where you
go
want
the
to
way
go,
they're supposed to go, yeah.
right,
If
you'll
things
get
go the
your
way they're
chance.
supposed to go, we'll
You'll
play
get your
them either
chance.
in conference title or playoff or both. So
For sure. All right, I think we can wrap it up there. We will be back pretty much weekly now. We will start our tier list. Thinking we're going to be on camera for our next episode as well. We'll discuss that in the post show. We'll text all about that and stuff too. But yeah, look out for that. Those are always fun episodes. They're usually longer. Takes time because we're going to obviously break down all the teams, give our takes and thoughts and all that good stuff. But creeping closer and closer to the season. I'm excited, man. You guys got a clown of the week?
Yes,
I feel like
sir.
everyone does.
I do.
Haas, you got one?
Yeah, you want me to give it now?
Let me
Wait
play
for
the
the
music.
intro.
Let me play the music. Everybody, it's time for your favorite segment. It's time for Clown of the Week. All right. It's time for Clown of the Week. Haas, Steph, whoever wants to go first, go ahead. Take it away.
Go ahead, Haas.
You know, my clown of the week is going to be someone we all very familiar with, who goes by the name of Dan, but I like to call him Nan because he don't be on shit, Lanning. And I'm going to bring up a quote he once said, and I actually have it pulled up. Let's see if you can hear it.
With our pads. You got me your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. Put it inside.
They're fighting for clicks. This guy is the same coach paying for collusion in college football 27. You literally playing for clicks. He tried to call out Prime saying he's playing for clicks, and this guy is colluding with EA college football. And Oregon is the highest ranked team just because of their fancy uniforms and all the hype behind their head coach. And I'm just gonna give him the clown of the week because oh how that one just came around full circle and just look at real time. I mean, they're on the cover of the game. They're literally playing for clicks, and I just think he's really the clown of the week for that, and really could be the clown of the quarter century, honestly, because he hasn't done shit since that speech, and I just wanted to give him clown of the week before really the season starts and he gets more because I just think he's a complete bozo still. He's a op. He left Georgia. He wanted to be the main guy. He wanted to be bigger than the program. And as you can see, it hasn't really worked out for him. So enjoy playing for clicks, literally. You're the coolest team in the game. Congratulations. And yep, my clown
I
of the
could
week
call
goes to
your
Dan
whole
Lanning.
program a clown. I mean, nobody on your team even knows how to drive a car correctly. So why are you gonna sit up here and talk about a man that's been successful, that's been feeding his family, that's won a conference, that's made the playoffs multiple times? I mean, I think it's worked out pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think you got a lot of things that's going on in your house that you need to fix before you start talking about other people's house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all should figure out how to get from point A to point B without getting arrested by the police.
I
So
mean, I'm just talking strictly football. I know, this is what losing teams have to do. They have to change the narrative and bring things up that aren't football related. But if we're talking strictly
it
football,
is football related. We talk about
you're
football
talking
players,
about
ain't it?
traffic violations,
We
buddy.
talking
I'm
about
talking about
football
on-field
players.
production. On-field production that we
On-field
haven't seen
production
since
was the
that
same
locker
as
room
Georgia's last
speech.
year.
We really haven't seen
On-field
since that
production was
locker
the
room
same thing as
speech.
Georgia's last year. Did y'all win the conference?
We
We
have
won the conference too.
post-COVID hardware.
Y'all
We
won.
don't
Y'all
have.
won. Y'all won. Y'all lost in semis. We lost in semis. So we had the same outcome of our season. Actually, down to the game, we had the same outcome of our season. So
I
please,
mean, you guys have all this fancy hype, and
y'all don't have hype.
I just have
It's
to.
Georgia. That we're
I
talking
just
about.
got to
Y'all
throw
don't
a
have
little
hype.
bit of water on the fire that's
What are we
constantly like
talking about, man? Like
the constant flames we
you act like
constantly
you're
put on
Tennessee. You act like
Oregon.
you're Tennessee. That's what you act like. I don't think you understand that everybody thinks that Georgia's going to be in the mix every year.
I
No
mean, this
one
is how we're treating Oregon, but they haven't
do
really
y'all
they haven't
do
deserved
y'all
this talk. We need to be treating Indiana
Sean.
with
I
the
think I
Oregon
think this
level of
guy,
respect
Sean.
because Dan Lanning is not going to continue to get away with this.
Do you
I tried
remember
to
when they
warn you
won
when
the
you guys
Natty
first hired
and a
him.
player said that everyone thought that they were going to go 7-5? I think Haas actually believes that. No one ever said y'all was
Yeah, that
going
was sick.
7-5.
That was sick. I think that was Kirby Smart that said it. I'm pretty sure that was Kirby Smart who said that. It wasn't a player. It was Kirby.
It was probably one of
Like
y'all, man, and they seen that and ran with it.
they seen them burner accounts trolling under the comments and thought it was for real.
Crying.
I just think it's really ironic that this guy got famous off making fun of Dion, letting him know he's not playing for clicks, and few years later, here we are on the cover of the game once again playing for clicks. So there's my clown of the week.
How's that playing for clicks? It was on the cover of the game. You got to
Because
have a good
he's
quarterback to be on
playing
the
for
cover of the
clicks. He's
game.
playing for EA to get sales, and he's getting the ratings boosted up. And people were
We're not even
clicking
the main
buttons on their
person on the
remote to
cover.
play the game. So he's playing for clicks.
Is Kirk Signetti playing for clicks? He's the main person in the middle of the cover.
No, he's playing for checks.
For
That's what
chips.
he's doing.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he's playing
goodness.
for checks, swiping
Oh my
cards and
goodness.
stacking chips.
Oh my goodness.
No, that being cursing any theme song is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Steph, you got a different clown of the week? You got a clown of the week?
Yeah, man. I mean, you mentioned it before. Malik Beasley indicted for alleged NBA betting scheme. I mean,
Yeah.
We have another player going down for this. This is a guy that's been in the NBA for a very long time. Um, and it's sad to see that this is going on. And the first tweet that I see is a clip of him, was it point shaving? Well, maybe not point shaving. He was trying to he is a clip of him trying to score a point with just a few seconds left of the game when the game was out of
Yeah.
reach. I mean, there was no
Hmm.
chance that he was going to win, but the score was close to the spread, so he was just trying to cover the spread. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
point shaving. I think point shaving is when you mess up on purpose, but y'all could correct me. But the point is he was clearly doing stuff that doesn't make sense in the context of a game. And when you look at what's happening now, people are able to put two and two together and say, well, is this guy gambling? If they didn't notice right in that moment, I mean, they're noticing now. So this doesn't look like it's something that's going to turn out well for this guy.
Nah,
And
he's cooked. The FBI got him. It's over now.
yeah, and the conviction rate when it comes to those guys. So
Yo, these guys are so stupid. Not to cut
Yeah.
you off, Steph.
no, go
but
ahead, man.
Just gambling in 2026. I mean, if you like just look at technology and think you're smarter than it, you're really the true idiot. Thinking you can just
Yeah,
do anything nowadays without it being
Yeah.
recorded or stored
Yeah, they're
somewhere
texting. They're
forever. I
texting. Like
mean,
they are
come
gonna
on.
have your text records. Like they're like these guys are. Yeah.
like
And they're
guys,
sober. And I know like they may be like smoking a little bit, drinking, but these people, they're sober. Like these guys aren't like fucking crackheads. They're more than capable enough to understand do not gamble
yeah,
when you are under
and
contract.
hey guys, it's like you said, when you do stuff, everything is on record when it comes to
All right.
technology. Don't think that because you're texting that it's private. It may be private, to for the moment, but if there is a crime and the law needs to see it, they will see it
Yeah.
because these companies, they all have your data. So anything in a text or an email, you need to treat it like it's something that could possibly come out one day. Don't ever write something having to do with a crime in an email or a text or DM, anything, because this is all stuff that is going to come out one day. This is why you would see people on burner phones, and this is why you would see people back in the day. They would do their calls on payphones because it's something you can't track to a person. You can't connect it to a single person. But now we have, with people doing it on iPhones, we have your location records. We can match the location to your locations and match the names and addresses to you, and it's really not hard. It's not hard to be a detective nowadays.
And
It's
the
like that.
internet
It's
is
like,
doing it for the police
right,
nowadays,
I
which
was
just
just about
makes
to
it
say that.
100 times easier
Yeah, it's like that
for every
Drewski
police
skit.
department in every major city.
Yeah, it's that Drewski skit where he shows the video of guys doing crimes and then
Got him.
show the cops. Yeah, they're doing crimes on video. I mean, come on, man, it's the same thing. You
Oh
know,
man.
Did you guys discuss Terrion Arnold in
I
the
was
beginning
just
of the
that was about to be
episode?
my clown. That was about to be my clown of the week.
Okay.
oh yeah, that's
As,
a great
as soon as
clown
you
of the
guys,
week.
as soon as you guys were done saying, I was gonna bring that up because that's
Yeah,
another that's
that's
another
a great
clown,
clown of the
idiot,
week.
dummy. Again, like hiring two women to set these guys up and then releasing the guys. I'm not saying kill the guys. I mean, I'm glad the guys are alive, but like you release the guys, what do you think they're gonna go do,
Yeah,
bro?
what are
They're
they
gonna go
gonna do?
straight to the police and they're
Yeah,
gonna like,
apparently he robbed the wrong guys, right?
yeah, and it was the wrong guys. And then the two women that he paid snitched on him. And then there's
Yeah,
text
see.
messages, and they were on FaceTime during like it is just like the most sloppiest like amateur thing ever. And for
I
what?
mean, just like the Pooh Shiesty thing, they
Yeah.
posted his text messages with his
Yo,
people.
that's
I
what
mean,
crazy. Y'all seen those,
But
bro?
I'm sure
yeah,
Terrion
if
Arnold was listening to Pooh Shiesty before he did that shit when they came up with that shit. So it's just a fucking hamster wheel.
seriously,
Somebody
I mean, if you're going to be that dumb and have a group chat with all your criminals in it, I mean, I can't. There's nothing I can say to you. You're a lost cause at that
yo,
point.
yo, they
You're
got
just
the
a
wrong
lost
people.
cause.
They kidnapped the wrong people, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like, and so you're kidnapping civilians who aren't even involved with crimes. You think that they're not going to go to the police? What are we even talking about? It's
These guys
crazy.
are just wannabe
And you know
thugs and
what?
gangsters.
Seriously. And apparently the story was that he was trying to get stuff that got robbed from him
from him.
back.
Right.
But it's like but my thing too is like, how are you even getting robbed? That tells me that this dude was around the wrong type of crowds in the first place. Because why are you even in an environment that you can be robbed?
Right. And my thing is, if you knew who did it, just tell the cops. Why are you trying to?
Yeah, like you're an NFL player. Why are you trying to stick
Yeah,
up people
bro.
with
Trying to get it back in
guns?
blood.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
He was listening to Pooh, like you said. He was listening to Shiesty.
This
It's
is the
the
real King Slime.
but real quick, not to go on a tangent, but like, so I got to be careful what you listen to, man, because that can really influence like how you are, the things you do. Like
Yep, that's
Yeah.
exactly why I brought
music
it
is
up. I
powerful.
mean,
Music is powerful, man. Very powerful medium. So
Yo, and as a grown man, you gotta understand, like, yo, even as a kid, like, you gotta understand that stuff is entertainment. That
yeah,
stuff is fake.
it's not
You
real
know, these
life.
people that are not, as part of these people that are entertainers, rappers, they aren't doing the gangster stuff themselves. And if they are, you see what happens. They go to jail immediately. You
Right,
see this
every
happen
time.
in every interview where I hear rappers, they talk about this. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to the streets. Because if you're a public figure, it's that much more of a high chance that you're going to be caught doing crimes. You're a public figure. Why do you think you're going to get away with something like this?
Right.
Same with Terry Arnold. You can't be
I
an
mean,
NFL
to be
player. Everyone
fair,
knows you.
some of them are getting away with it. I just seen the body cam footage of James Pierce Jr. earlier, and this
Mhm.
guy was talking to the cops like he was the sheriff in town, and that shit was hilarious to me because they let him go, and I didn't read much after since he's been released, but I know that if that was any other civilian or any of us on this call, we probably wouldn't even be here to have this conversation right now. So a lot of people do get away with it, and non-biasly speaking, I mean, they're like there are incidents that happen at Georgia, and you see people like really walk away from stuff, and whether they were fully responsible or not, they really aren't held accountable enough. People argue, and that's really what encourages other high-profile people to just do shit because they think that they can't be touched.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, especially if you don't have the complexion for the connection, you need to be on your P's and Q's. So
Yes,
let's
sir.
Facts.
let's
Yes, sir.
let's also
That's
put
real.
that out there. So
Yes, sir.
'cause, we see a lot of things going on in the world right now where
Mhm.
certain people are allowed to get away with certain things that other people aren't.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
you got to know who you are and where you fit into things and really do what's best for you. Don't be out here trying to pull guns on people. Don't be in environments where people are robbing. Don't be gambling. Don't be in places shooting
And
dice, doing all that other nonsense. I mean,
don't these
it's
guys
time to
have
be.
insurance though? Like when
That's come on,
anything,
bro. You rich,
anybody
bro.
making a certain amount of money should have
Right.
insurance
If you
on
get something
every
stole at your
little
crib,
thing.
you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
report it and you
You
get the
know,
money back.
especially Airbnb. I know there's insurance policies for
Yes,
Airbnb. I
bruh.
mean, when
Right.
people
yeah,
travel nowadays, you have crazy ass fans, and technology is so crazy that crazy fans track their favorite celebrities' flights and shit. So they're definitely able to see where they're staying at for Airbnb. So I'm sure home invasions and all types of shit are at an all-time high at all types of places. So there's definitely insurance policies on
Yeah.
Airbnb, hotels, anything, jewelry, like anything you're spending absurd amounts of money on, there's going to be insurance.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
know why your
If
first
you're,
result is to go get your lick back if you're
Right.
literally
I mean, that's
in the
just a look into the
NFL.
psychology of young men, like how
yeah,
certain people think, like they don't want to be called a snitch. They don't want, like this or that, or they feel like they street justice, but you know what I mean? Like it's different.
yeah,
So
yeah. They don't want to look like they soft or whatever, but
right.
it's like, yo, like you're a football player.
Yeah,
You're not
football player.
soft. No one
Right.
thinks you're soft.
You got shit to lose.
Yeah, and you can't, and that's the other thing. You can't be worried about other people's opinions, and that's why, and that's really what it boils down to a lot of times because a lot of people are scared to tell people no. It's sad to say, but if you're from an area where it's dangerous and people don't have their lives together and they're doing illegal activities, it's hard to tell these people no because the first thing that they say when you leave is, oh, he never comes back, he never helps us out. But
Right. Especially if you grew up
it's
with them.
like, right, but it's like, yo, like you can help people out without putting yourself in danger at the same time. You know, you want to donate to the Boys and Girls Club, you know what I'm saying? Donate to your
Right.
school, to your old school, and do things like that. But you don't have to be hanging out with people who aren't doing positive things with their lives. You know, it's one of those things that is a hard reality for people. You're gonna have to accept the fact that people are not that you grew up with aren't gonna like you anymore. And sometimes it's your own family. You know, there's incidents where people's own parents have messed up their money. You know, it's just one of those things where you're eventually going to have to be an adult and make your own decisions. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I agree. So a lot of bad advice, a lot of like we talked about earlier, you gotta have people in your corner, hopefully. Not everybody has that blessing to have people in their corner, but at this point, you're old enough, you should know right from wrong. Taron Arnold, you're a clown. I think we ended off there. Real quick. Um, the other football. Paraguay just upset Germany. It's like one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. It's crazy. Um, wow. But all right, let's close it out here. We will be back next week. And yeah, any final thoughts, words, comments, concerns?
I think that's it, man. Just ready for the season to start at this point.
All right. Until next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.